The Skill Builder team has been travelling around Cornwall for the last few days looking at various building projects, and we're up the road talking to a builder who's putting new slate onto an old building, and he told us he gets his slate locally from Trevillett Quarry. Now, I used to think that the only place you could get slate really was in North Wales, but it turns out that Cornwall produces loads and loads of really top quality slate. So we came down here to have a look, and we're going to take you around and show you how this handmade slate is made. And if you're in the market for slate, these guys will sell it to you direct or through the merchants. So it's well worth phoning them up to get a price. Now the slate is quarried from over there, and they basically blast it out of the cliff face, if you like, and then they load it up into the big dumper truck which comes around here, dumps it over there, and then those two big diggers deftly pick out the bits and pieces and load them up. They go into the grader takes all the old rubbish off it, all the mud and everything else, just shakes it away, so they finish up with cleaner blocks, and then the blocks are transported down to the shed where they're split into slates as you would recognise them on a roof. How long one of those blades last you?
3 or 4 months.
Will it?
Yeah.
Diamond, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, they must be really good quality then.
Yeah.
I suppose doing wet cut helps a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Keeps them cool. So where does it go from here when you finish with it?
That's up.
Oh, okay, that's it. So you've made it then, and it's ready, what, for garden walls and things like that? Got it. So nothing to do with roofing slate here.
No.
This is building stone. There's a lot of it about, isn't there? This slate, bloody hell.
Houses everywhere.
So here we got the splitting shed, and the reason this is still done by hand is because you've got to look at the slate and work out where that stratification is, work out exactly where you put the chisel to get a clean cut down. You'll see.
These bits, which are like naturally made faults in it,
yeah.
So you want to avoid those. You need to try and keep it as straight as possible to keep it all in one.
Oh, okay.
One
yeah.
sheet, as it were. I call them sheets.
Yeah. So
whereas if you were to go at a slightly jaunty angle,
yeah.
you'd have one layer and then another layer coming up and a bit of a lip. So then you've got to try and work the lip out smooth. But this is quite nice stone at the minute, so you just...
Is it? So that can vary from day to day,
give it a whack, and it should split all the way down. Yeah,
oh, really?
Day it's completely different.
Okay, I'll leave you to do it and see what happens. Oh, lovely. So that's it?
That's it.
You haven't got to...
So then you move on to this chisel. You work along the sides and down that side, and just straight down.
Yeah, just carry on.
And that's it. So,
wow.
Yeah, go for it. Easy.
Easy.
The better the stone, sometimes if it's really nice stone, you can just go along the top like that.
And then it'll go
down.
straight away.
But generally, you want to go all the way around it.
How long did it take you to learn this?
A while.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I've been here 5 years.
Right.
And
do you start on this, or do you start somewhere else and then work your way?
Splitting shed the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Not, you start small. The smaller the stone, the easier it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking back, we had really nice stone when I first started, and I didn't appreciate how nice it was
until you started getting something less good.
Started getting the worst stuff.
Yeah. When you say the worst, the quality of it's all right. It's just a difficult stone to work.
Yeah, there's all sorts of. So sometimes it's going to be a bit spotty. You can't have too many spots. And
yeah, because that's what impurities in it. There's something. What's that? Clay or something like that in there.
See all these.
Oh yeah.
So the higher up the face it is, the softer the stone is, and that's where you get the spots around it.
I know.
So this stuff, I'm guessing, must be quite deep.
Yeah.
It's quite hard.
Oh, okay, right. So it's closer to the surface.
Yeah.
So, excuse my ignorance, but it's basically sediment that's been compressed over millions of years,
yeah. So occasionally, once it's happened to me, you find fossils.
I was going to say, did you get fossils, yeah?
I found like a clam-looking shell inside
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Apparently they found like butterflies and leaves
Really?
and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Poor old butterfly.
But that's
How many million years
right
ago was
at
that?
the top of the quarry. Millions and millions. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand it myself.
Do you nominate the thickness, or are you looking at a line there?
Generally, you aim for around the same thickness.
Got it.
But because it's randoms, there is a little bit of leeway in it.
Yeah, which is where when the guys are putting them on the roofs, they have to grade them, don't they?
Yeah.
To find the thicker ones, the thinner ones,
That's
put them in
it,
lines,
yeah,
so that you haven't got a lot of uneven, different thickness slates.
That's it.
Yeah. And quite honestly, a lot of people who don't do a lot of roofing and don't understand that. I've seen jobs where they got a thin one next to a thick one, and it just looks horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of nuances to it.
Yeah.
You can't just. We've had people, say, someone on the saws. They've come in and had to go thinking, oh yeah, you just whack it. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
No.
I mean, just being able to hold these properly. When people start, it's all a bit fingers and thumbs. So.
Yeah, sure. Do you listen to music during the day or what?
Yeah, I tend to. Yeah, the tap 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 can get a little bit monotonous.
So what sort of music do you listen to? What are you listening to at the moment?
Whatever, Spotify, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I quite like listening to podcasts as well.
Oh, do you really?
I was listening to a comedy podcast. Occasionally I'll just burst out laughing. I have to look around like, oh, is anyone looking?
And the guy over there is listening to something else.
So this one,
Yeah.
quite thin that side, quite thick that side.
Yeah.
So that one isn't going to make it.
Oh, right. So what happens to them?
You can attempt to try and chip along there, chip all the way around, but by the time you get something flat, it's too thick.
You've wasted your
So
time.
that one,
Oh, right. And what happens to all the waste slate? Does it get crushed up to make it into anything or not?
some of this will occasionally get put out to make the roads. It's dusty now,
Yeah.
but in the middle of winter, you're up to your ankles in mud. You know the Tintagel Bridge?
Yeah.
They use slate to
On the
make
bridge.
the actual walking bit.
Yeah.
Instead of having slate like this, they had, I think it was like 1 million slates they used, stood up like that.
Wow.
So little bits like that, because it's too small for us to use in roofing slates, other people can come in and find uses for it.
Nice to meet you, Matt. That's all right, mate. Lovely.
Nice
Cheers.
to meet you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
telling
no
us that.
worries.
That's really interesting. You're the man, Matt, saying you're the master.
I'm the master.
Yeah. You're the grandmaster.
Oh, right.
That's it. Finished product. Beautiful. Is that the right way up?
Yeah, either way, yeah, that's fine.
Good. I don't want to mess up the system, mate. Nice to meet you anyway.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your name?
Ian.
Ian. Cheers, Ian. Where do you live?
At Dallaball.
Oh, do you? All right. Did you start in the Trevillett Quarry or what? Or
And that's where I learned my trade out there.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years out there.
and then you moved over here?
Yeah. I'm the last old one left now. I was young when I started.
I know that feeling, my friend. Yeah.
Even work with my father here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it just sediment that's been under the sea and it's compressed?
In the Dallaball run here.
Yeah.
There's a line from Dallaball to here, and that's where it is.
Yeah.
And the deeper you go, the better it is.
Yeah. Okay. So you dig down and you get real good quality
Yeah.
slate.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it sell at a different price then, the good stuff, or not? Or
And now all the same price. All the
right.
same price.
So if you're a builder, if you're a roofer, and you're looking for a bit of slate, what would you look for in a slate? If you saw a lot of shiny bits in it,
Yeah,
you would.
and that's the grain weight there. And you see those little shiny bits there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call that heads and tails. Have you seen in that one there?
Oh right, heads and tails, right?
Yeah, there's the heads and there's the tails, and that tells you the grain weight of the stone.
Oh,
If you
okay.
go opposite there, and you know in sort of the grain, but always the lengthways in the stone.
Got it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Always
That's
the
the,
long
you've
way.
all got to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting to know. Because there's, you
And
know,
the better the stone you get, and this here, and the worse the stone you, an inch.
brilliant.
Sometimes we get good stone and sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
And that's how we.
Yeah, and that's why it's got to be done by hand. It's got your
Yeah.
experience tells, yeah.
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 That's the way we do it.
Yeah. So what do they call this machine?
They call it a dressing machine, or
So this is what I've seen guys doing this by hand back in the old day
yes,
with a
that's
trowel or
right.
whatever the edge, yeah. So you're trying to make these random sized bits into something usable, yeah.
Yes, make them into the roofing slate that's required.
So you're not. You got 3 different sizes going.
I've got 16s there, 14s, 12s. Just here, I've got 11-inch peggies and 10-inch peggies.
All in inches, still in inches.
Oh yes, all still in inches.
And they're twice as long as they are wide, basically. Is that the way it works?
Yeah, basically, if you've got 16-inch
gonna be an
random,
8.
it's going to be a 16. The minimum width is 8.
Right.
You can have it wider, being randoms, but you can't have it no more than,
okay.
no less than 8.
So that takes the edge off.
Yep, takes
squares
the edge
it up,
off,
Yeah.
and then we just square it off.
So
down
what's
to
in
the
here?
There's a counterweight with one large blade.
Oh, okay. Just a steel blade, just coming
Yeah,
down.
just a
like
steel blade
guillotine.
with an edge on it
Got it.
that'll just turn round. You just keep your fingers away.
Now, can I just ask you, why do you do this? Why do you cut this top off, Shamra? I've always seen it on slates, and I think, why do they?
Yeah,
Why don't they
basically
just leave
it
them
tells you
square?
it's the top of the slate, so it's easy for the roofers to put on. But what we do is we check it to see where the bows are to, and you get all the bows, so you got it correct for lying on your slate. So basically, when they're doing them, they overlap like that. So it then
flat.
sits over and sits flat. Quite often
that
with the
just
top
helps
ones
them
is a
sit
little
down.
flatter, so it just helps to sit down. It just makes it easier for the roofers to know which is the top and the bottom.
Now that's going to make a tiddler, isn't it?
No, you probably get a 14 out of it. You might get a 12.
All right. See, I wouldn't last long because I've been making tiny slates and big ones. What did it make?
Randoms. That's a 16-inch random. That one.
16, all
Yeah.
right. So what's happened to all the bits of the chips?
So they go down into a bin down there,
And you have to empty
and
it.
on average once a day,
All right.
I have to pull my bin out and empty it.
Okay, thanks very much for showing us that, my
Oop.
friend. No, you can leave it go.
Thank you
That's
very
lovely.
much.
Nice. What's your name?
Mark,
Mark. Thanks, Mark.
that's
great.
all right. You're welcome.
Solved the mystery for me.
In the next episode in our West Country series, we're going to be in Tintagel. This is Tintagel, where Roger's going to be bothering people. Then we're going to head over to Boscastle, where nearly everything is made out of slate. So you can see where all of those lovely slates end up. So stay tuned to Skill Beyond Attuned. Who stays tuned into anything? Come on, it's ridiculous.